aren't included on the, my God, I'm a mess right now. All right. I'm very frustrated. Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Vlogmas day 23, which means that this is the second to last Vlogmas episode here in the studio. I am here to talk about my tour schedule for the 2023 season. I finally put it together last night to go over all the events that I'm going to be looking to play next year, whether it's a Pro Tour event, a Silver Series event, or just an A-tier along the way. I just wanted to give myself the preparation to look at the road ahead, and I figured what better thing than to feature it here on Vlogmas if you guys want to come out to the events that I'm planning on playing next year. There's no surprise here on the first one. It is one of the events I've started my season with many times before in the past, and that is the Las Vegas Challenge, the first Elite Series event of the year. No surprise there. I know a lot of players start their tour in Las Vegas, if not maybe even later. But I always love to get out to Las Vegas. It's always a good time. Hang out with everybody, go to the Strip, have a good party. You know, it's a nice venue. It's a good fresh start. And now at this point, I've been going to the event for so long, it really holds a special place to me in my heart. The next event on the schedule is the next weekend. I've played this event twice before, but this year it's the first time it's going to be an A-tier. And that is the Crush on the Concho in San Angelo, Texas. The Veals run it with low putt disc golf. They're awesome. They've hosted me many times, and I'm just so glad that they got the upgrade to the A tier. So I absolutely be hitting up that event on the way by, because I tell them every time it's the same weekend as the Memorial, I'll be playing their event, because I absolutely hate the Memorial. I will never play that event again. Next up, now we have the Texas Swing, and that includes the Waco Charity Open first, which is my birthday weekend. It's been my birthday weekend the last 3 years. We're gonna be playing it once again. And Waco is like a love-hate for me. I've still yet to cash there. I've been one stroke out of cash both times I've played that event. However, I don't think the course is that bad. If anything, I think that the wooded part of the track actually really suits my game well. For some reason, I've just never really been able to put together some solid rounds in order for a very complete weekend and a good finish. Always got to get back out there, because there's always more room to improve. Next up, replacing the Open at Belton is now the Open at Austin. And I was really hopeful that this event was going to be played at Roy G, but I know that Roy G is dealing with its own problems with the city and everything like that. They've got like a homeless issue. However, the Open at Austin, I have good friends in Austin. I would love to spend the weekend there, and I'm very glad to see Austin, Texas on the Pro Tour, not only on the Pro Tour, but as an Elite Series event. So very excited for that, even though I've never played the course that we're going to be playing. Next on the list is the Silver Series event. It is Texas States. I think it's technically called like the Innova Open at Texas States, but that doesn't matter. It's going to be in Houston, and that is a Silver Series event. However, I'm kind of 50-50. I put it down on my list as like might skip. I'm not really sure, and the only reason that I might skip it is because I am going to go to Augusta, Georgia, straight from Texas to start preparing for the Champions Cup. I don't know if I want to play Texas States. It would give me an extra week in Augusta, and I really like that. I know nothing about the course that we're going to be playing in Houston. It could be great, but I have no idea. It's really just going to depend on kind of how I feel after those first 4 tournaments back to back in a row to start the year. The reason that I'm so eager to get straight to Augusta to prepare for the Champions Cup is because I am hopefully planning on flying home in the week of the Music City Open, which is the first event on the Pro Tour that I'll be skipping. I just have no interest in going back to that course. And I have something very important, which is Team Challenge Finals. And I had already told my team, oh, you guys, I'm going to be home for just the first 3 matches, but then you got to do the rest without me. Well, the first 3 matches turned into the first 4 matches. And obviously we're on a heater, and I love our team so much, and I want to be there if we could take down finals. So I do believe I'm going to take a trip home, and it'll be nice for a little breather, especially after being away from home for a couple months in the middle of the tour, to just spend a week at home, go to Team Challenge Finals, take it down, and then I'll jump right back to Augusta, keep preparing for the Champions Cup. But this event is one that I'm also very excited for, and that's the Blue Ridge Championship in North Carolina. If you haven't seen pictures of this course, it looks incredible. I'm pretty sure Big Germ's wedding was actually at this course, but there's mountains. It's a mile-long greenscape. It is super nice looking, and even though I don't like to play events the weekend prior to a major event, it just seems like one that I really, really don't want to miss. So I hope to be attending the Blue Ridge Championship. I would never ever skip this if we were to be talking about the first half of the year and you told me I can only play one event on the entire first half, it would be the Champions Cup every single time. W.R.Jackson, I've said it before in my course ranking video, I think that W.R.Jackson is absolutely one of the best courses in the world. I love it. I feel like I really can own that course when I'm on. I did in the first round last year. The last three, not so much. However, I'm always better and always improving. So next year is a new year. Want to get back in there. W.R.Jackson, shred it. Hopefully put up a really solid finish. And I have to say I am very, very excited to play W.R.Jackson again. And now we're going the same tangent kind of as 2022. We go straight from Augusta to Jonesboro. Jonesboro is one of those events for a Midwest event. It's honestly one of my favorites. I've said it before, like I said in my course ranking video. I think that if we're gonna be playing an open course, I think that more courses should aspire to be more like Jonesboro, where even though it's wide open, there's a lot of obstacles and a lot of different areas that can really put you in trouble. It doesn't usually come down to luck. If you threw yourself in a bad spot, typically it's your fault. And that's something that I really like about Jonesboro. Jonesboro is my best finish of my career. I got 5th place there in 2021, so I will be eager to see if I can match or do better than that next year. The next one on the list is always a maybe for me. I'm really, really not sure how I'm gonna be feeling at this point in the season, but the 303 Open in Colorado, it's right next to the Discmania warehouse. Whether I play it or not, I'm still gonna be there for that week because I love to hang out with my guys at the Discmania warehouse and pick through the plastic. I will be attending the 303 Open regardless, but whether or not I'll be playing is just kind of up to me at that time. See how the putts are falling and how the drives are flying, because going to high elevation, it can take a toll on you. And from Colorado, we will then just start to swing right out to the West Coast, starting with the OTB Open in Stockton. I'm sure Simon will be back out there trying to defend his title, but OTB, even though California isn't one of my favorite places to go, I have grown a soft spot for OTB, not just because Simon won. The OTB guys put on a great show. Sean Jack is an incredible tournament director with many, many different fan experiences at the tournament, as well as just creating a very good environment for the players at the course. We have a whole section of the parking lot just for us players, so I am very excited to get back out to the OTB Open and hopefully play much better than I did last year. That was one of the events I didn't cash at. Now, the next two events are two Silver Series events that I've never played before. The first one being the Beaver State Fling, which I've never ever played the Beaver State Fling. I've played Milo, but the Beaver State Fling is, it's always been a staple on the tour, and I am very excited to see if I can put out a good showing there. I think that the course can suit me well if I'm on my game and maybe throw a couple forehand rollers, some crazy flippy hyzer flips in the woods. Milo McIver, you just can't go wrong. And the next one on the list, another Silver Series event. Well, it'll be the first tournament I've ever played in Washington. It's the Cascade Challenge at Kayak Point. I've heard many, many good things about the course here. So as soon as I saw it was put on the tour, I got super excited. You know, we're already gonna be up in the Pacific Northwest. It should only be a couple hours away. So very excited to play the Cascade Challenge, and I hope to see some Washington disc golf fans that I've never met before. Next event on the list is just a can't miss. The Portland Open. We play Blue Lake and Glendoveer, two very, very fun, fair courses on the Pro Tour. Glendoveer is on a golf course, but just the scenery, the ginormous trees, it's a beautiful landscape. I love the property. I love the Jeff Spring design. Even though, again, I didn't cash last year, I did have a great time, and Casey, our host, is always a good time. So very eager to get back out to the West Coast and get a second shot at those West Coast events and try and improve from what I played last year. All right, so this is the part of the schedule where things get a little dicey because I've got some decisions to make. The next couple events, according to the Disc Golf Pro Tour's schedule, is a Silver Series, the Zootown Open in Montana, which I would love to play, followed by Dynamic Disc Open in Emporia, and then immediately following that is the Des Moines Challenge. The problem with all of that is that I am really eager to defend my title at the Brewster Ridge Open. And the Brewster Ridge Open is the same weekend as the Des Moines Challenge, so here's the problem. The problem is, first of all, I'll be starting in Oregon and hoping to get to Massachusetts or Vermont in a couple weeks. And I don't really have a problem with that because I did it last year. The issue would be that if I were to play, let's say, Zootown and DDO and just skip Des Moines, then I would be coming home for just a week because the following week after the Brewster Ridge is the Preserve. So I have to make a decision on whether or not I want to play those events or if I just come home and spend a week, maybe two at home, get a little mid-season recoup, get myself ready for that long summer stretch, and hopefully defend my title at the Brewster Ridge Open. But I don't know. I'll have some decisions to make, but we'll see. Okay, the next can't miss event on my list, I just mentioned it, the Preserve. The Preserve is one of the most special events on the tour, in my opinion. All the disc golfers camping on the property. Everybody's just kind of in their own space. They got their own vibe going on. We've always got a crazy frisbee toss party at the end. Kevin Jones does his concert live on the property. It is such a good time. The Preserve is just a very special place for me, and I can't wait to get back there and see all the spectators I just mentioned in my Ask Me Anything video. The Preserve has one of my favorite spectators on tour. Now about to jump into another busy section of the tour because we have an off week following the Preserve weekend. However, this is when the people that are going to Europe go to Europe, and the people that aren't going to Europe have to find good quality tournaments that they want to play and compete at. I really want to go to Europe. I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to financially, but I absolutely want to with everything I've got. I have a lot of friends in Europe. I've seen so much of the coverage and everything like that. I want to compete overseas, and I really hope I can make it happen. However, if I do, I'll be playing the PCS Open and the European Open. Those are Elite Series and a major, which you just don't want to skip those events. However, if it doesn't work out and I'm not able to pull off the trip to Europe, I do have a couple tournaments that I put on my radar that are closer to home for me, which is the Lost Valley Open in Pennsylvania. I played that back in 2020 and Simon won. And then the Warwick Championship in New York. I have never played Warwick, and I've heard so many good things about the course. It's right by Brewster's. I've been to Warwick and I've played the course at Brewster's house, but I never made it to the Warwick actual course. I've heard it's a great course. I would love to play the event. I think that it would be a good thing for me to come back to the Northeast in the middle of the summer, but like I said, I would only end up considering those events if I don't go to Europe. You always gotta have those events on your radar in case things don't work out. Following the European swing, we have a little bit of a Midwest stretch just to make our way slowly out east, starting with Ledgestone. Ledgestone's one of the highest paying tournaments of the year. I absolutely love Northwoods Black. I think that it suits my game very well. I feel like I learn the course more and more as I go back and return to the event each year. Lake Eureka, not my cup of tea. However, I do know how to play it and I can survive it. I can put myself in a position to gain strokes on Northwoods Black if I have a solid couple rounds at Lake Eureka, and that's basically all that matters. So Ledgestone, it's one of the biggest events of the year. You just can't miss it if you're on tour. The next event that I'm very excited to see, it has been pushed into the later August time frame, is Idlewild. Idlewild is another tournament. I feel like the course can suit me very well, and every time I play it in practice, I think I know it and I've got it on lock, but I have not cashed there yet, and I just don't understand. So now, next year, coming back, like I said, new player, new year, always improving, hopefully gonna post my best performance at Idlewild. It shouldn't be hard to do. All I have to do is just play decent and make some money. Idlewild, I don't know why, but it's had my number the last couple of years. Hopefully next year, not the case. This is the part of the year when things start to get spicy, and that is the DGPT playoff season. A new playoff event on the tour, well, converted to a playoff event, is the Great Lakes Open, DGLO, in Michigan. Now, Toboggan is a very challenging course. I don't really have much gripe with Toboggan. I think that the improvements that have been made to the course have been substantially better, so I do respect it for that nature. But now, since it's a playoff event, it has been moved to 4 rounds instead of 3. And just to think about, combined with practice rounds and then 4 tournament rounds, to think that I'm gonna be hiking that course for an entire week. It's just like, I mean, it's whatever. It's over 8 months away, and it just sounds exhausting, but we'll get back out there. Toboggan has treated me well last year, and I hope that I can get out there and shoot my best performance on that course. Next up on the list, we're making it closer to my stomping grounds up in New England, and we have the event that I've been waiting for the most The World Championships back at Smuggler's Notch. I've said it multiple times here on the channel before. The 2018 World Championships at Smuggler's Notch was my breakout performance of my career. I had no expectations and shot an amazing week of golf as an 18-year-old 978 rated player. And now I have officially gotten what I wished for, which is for Worlds to return to Smugs. I think that Smuggler's Notch offers two of the best courses in the world. I would not want the World Championships to be anywhere else in the world. I think that I have a very good opportunity to go out there, do my best, and really put on a show as far as my skill level is concerned. If somebody else goes out there and just plays absolutely out of their mind and pulls a Greg Barsby, well, then they deserve it, because that's just the way it goes. But I'm still very eager to get back out there for the World Championships and show them what I got. And now we're definitely throwing it back to 2018. The next event on the list is the Discmania Open in Prince Edward Island. The last time I played the tournament in Prince Edward Island was after the 2018 World Championships. The last time it was Worlds at Smugs, I went to Prince Edward Island, so now it's Worlds at Smugs again. I'm going back to Prince Edward Island. They've actually added gold tees to the Hillcrest Farm course, which I am very eager to check out. I know there's some coverage out there, so I'm sure I'll be checking that out leading up to the event. John Houck design, you absolutely cannot go wrong. Hillcrest Farm is an absolute gem of a course. Beautiful piece of property, great design, very fun. It's just, Prince Edward Island is also just a really cool place as well. Playing disc golf up in Canada, my very first round there, I aced. It will have been 5 years by the time that this tournament comes around since I had been back. So very excited to get back up there to Prince Edward Island. And now it's called the Discmania Open, which is awesome. If any of you have been paying attention, you probably know what's next. MVP Open at Maple Hill. Absolutely wouldn't miss it. Massachusetts local playing his hometown pro tour. It doesn't get better than that. The fans, the course, the atmosphere, the players, all of it combined, incredible. Absolutely incredible. If you are a Massachusetts disc golfer and you have not attended the MVP Open, absolutely do yourself a favor and go next year. It's only going to keep improving. Maple Hill is the #1 ranked course in the entire world. I hope that they keep on the upward trajectory. Lots of players on tour say it's their favorite tournament of the year, and if it's not their favorite tournament of the year, then it might be their favorite course. It doesn't need much more said about it. Maple Hill is a special place, and the only way to make it more special is to crown a Disc Golf Pro Tour champion on it. Thankfully, directly following the MVP Open, we actually have a couple off weeks, which is great because we would have just finished a killer stretch at the end of the summer leading into the Northeast. So after the MVP Open, we have some time to prepare for the U.S.D.G.C. So I'll be spending at least 1 week at home, then eventually making my way down to Charlotte, start practicing at Winthrop and whatnot. However, last year, that was exactly what I planned to do, but I didn't qualify for the U.S.D.G.C. I have a lot of room to improve on next year's season, and I think that's why I was so excited putting this schedule together, because I really didn't have my best season in 2022, so just to see all the way the tournaments are lining up, it's just like, it's feeding my hunger to get out there and improve. And I just really hope that I can get back out there to the U.S.D.G.C. And actually, I have a fun fact about my U.S.D.G.C. finishes. I'm on a very short list, I want to say, of like 10 people who have improved their finish at every single U.S.D.G.C. The last time I was there, I got 22nd. So if I qualify for the U.S.D.G.C. in 2023, my goal will be to beat my 22nd place finish in 2021. Immediately following the U.S.D.G.C., same case, Pro Tour Championship. I have not yet qualified for the Pro Tour Championship, and honestly, I felt like that's pretty catastrophic. I think that I have played decent the last couple of years, especially in 2021, but just to not get enough points to make the Pro Tour Championship has been pretty upsetting for me. And I mean, in a way, it's almost embarrassing. As a full-time touring pro, I'm playing almost every single event. I'm out there every single week like the rest of them. The problem is that I have a couple good finishes. It doesn't matter how good your good ones are if you don't stay consistent the entire year. You can't be dropping off these terrible finishes, and that's kind of what I was doing last year. Just found myself in the wrong place, and I wasn't improving, and now it's time to get back out there and prove myself wrong and finally put myself in the Pro Tour Championship where I belong. Of course, you just put it on the schedule. You're not going to put something on the schedule that you don't aspire to play. So the U.S.G.C. and the Pro Tour Championship, obviously you have to qualify, but I want to play them. I want to qualify. And I think that the Pro Tour Championship is going to be back at Nevin Park And by the look of the coverage, that looks like my kind of course. So I would love to see what I could do at that course and in those tight wooded lines. So we'll see. I just got to qualify. Last thing on my tour schedule, just a little extra bit. Marky Chap is getting married the weekend after the Pro Tour Championship. This doesn't really have to be on here, but I am very excited about it. So there it is on my tour schedule right there, so I can never forget it. But anyways, that is it. Let me know if you guys have a favorite local B tier or A tier that you think that I should check out on these weekends that I didn't mention. However, if you are local to any of the events that I did mention on here, comment below so I can know if I'm going to be seeing you next year on tour. But that is my tentative. I'm going to call it my tentative tour schedule because there are a couple 50-50 toss-ups that I'm not really sure exactly which event I'm going to play. But that is going to do it for Vlogmas episode 23. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, last Vlogmas episode tomorrow. I cannot believe it. It has been an absolute grind of a month. I think it might have been over a month by now. But thank you for tuning in once again. One last episode tomorrow, and it's going to be a good one. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next year on tour. So peace out.